Hello everyone, your voice here and welcome to our channel Sansevieria 101. So for this episode, we're going to feature another inflorescence or flower bloom coming from the Sansevieria hybrid named Banahaw, and this is one of the hybrid of the breeder Glansang. Glansang, by the way, is from the Philippines, and this hybrid, sadly, he was not able to list down the parentage for it. But what I'm showing you right now is the inflorescence or flower bloom. I have included the screenshot of the first day, which I have captured the flower bud from this specific hybrid, and it was dated January 8th, 2024. And we are doing this specially to make known the difference between his other hybrid Canlaon, which is very similar in appearance to what I'm showing right now. What you can see is perhaps the fourth or fifth day, and one of the difference between Canlaon and Banahaw is the flower bracts. As you can see, the bracts that are growing on the flower stalk are very pointy and sharp, and you cannot find that on his other hybrid Canlaon. I have also featured the inflorescence of Canlaon on a playlist for Glansang hybrids, and I will be including this one as the second episode so you can compare the difference between them, because upon first look you will be having a hard time trying to distinguish which one's Canlaon and which one's Banahaw. So right now what I'm showing you is the inflorescence of Banahaw, and we are at the early stages of the budding phase, wherein you will see the difference between the buds and the bracts between Canlaon and Banahaw. Banahaw has a lot of pointy bracts that are very prominent, and you can see them that they are really pointed or sharp or sturdy. They are very evident as compared to the bracts that are found in his other hybrid Canlaon. So later on we'll be also taking measurements of the characteristics of the flowers coming from this hybrid. Right now it is just in the budding stage, and the flower stalk is now growing in very evident height. So later on we'll measure how tall really the inflorescence or the flower stalk of Sansevieria hybrid Banahaw, and I will compare it to Canlaon. Right now it's still growing in length, so we will find out the last day of inflorescence so we can measure the final length of the flower stalk. So we are still on the budding phase, and I think a couple more days till we can expect the flower buds to grow in length so they can prepare to open up, and we can go through the blooming stage of this hybrid's inflorescence or flower bloom. So also later on we'll be taking a picture of when it will bloom. We will take note of the date where we took the picture so we can count the days it will take for the budding stages to reach the blooming stages of this inflorescence. I'm showing you right now more pictures as the flower stalk is growing in length. The flower tubes have now significantly grown in length as well, and you cannot you can barely see the pointy bracts that you saw on the earlier stages. Right now what you can see are mostly elongated flower tubes from this specific hybrid. So perhaps in a few more pictures we'll be able to see the flower tubes finally open up for us. And there you go. I've took the shot of it, and it's dated January 29th, 2024. So first pick was January 8th, and then the last pick or the first pick for the flower tubes to open up would be 29th. So it took 21 days for the budding stage to reach the blooming stage of this inflorescence for this particular hybrid. Hello folks, so we're back, and like we always do, the second part of the content will be the part wherein we are going to take records of the inflorescence or describe the inflorescence or flower bloom of the Sansevieria hybrid or species. So what I have here with you right now is the third day of the blooming phase for Sansevieria hybrid Banahaw, and I might have already mentioned it. Banahaw is very close in appearance to Canlaon, and if you have a hard time trying to distinguish them, and if ever your Canlaon or your Banahaw has shown you flower bloom, we can differentiate them in terms of their inflorescence or flower bloom. So with that said, Canlaon, I have already uploaded the inflorescence of it, and in comparison to what you see right now, which is the raceme or the flower stalk of what I am featuring, which is Sansevieria hybrid Banahaw, would be different from Canlaon, because Canlaon's inflorescence or flower bloom will not droop down. So this is the second time that Banahaw has bloomed for me, and actually I have placed this stainless chopsticks to help the inflorescence stay up, because I am pollinating them, and when they are drooping down, it's kind of hard for us to work on pollinating this type of characteristics of a Sansevieria hybrid. So with regards to the flower stalk, I can safely say that Banahaw's inflorescence or flower stalk will droop down in the event that it will show you its flower bloom. And this is the second time. The first time it showed me its flower bloom, it also had the same characteristics. I had to put a stake on here, then I have to tie up the inflorescence so it can stay erect. This is the same case that we are undergoing right now. This problem will not happen with Sansevieria hybrid Canlaon. This drooping down of flower stalk only happens with Sansevieria hybrid Banahaw. So that is one of the characteristics. What else we can observe with the flower stalk is that we can count the flowers per cluster. So these are flowers per cluster. In a cluster there are 1 2 3 4 5 6, and the topmost portions would be around one flower tube attached to the flower stalk. So we can say that flowers per cluster is a maximum of 6, then minimum of 1. So same thing on the other stalk. We can actually count 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 is the maximum, as I see always, and seldom can I spot a 7 or 8 flower tube on a cluster of Sansevierias. Mostly it's just 6. Then that's the maximum on a flower cluster that I have observed. Then on the topmost portion there would be just about 2 to 1 flower tubes that are growing on the topmost portion for this particular hybrid that we are featuring, which is Sansevieria hybrid Banahaw. So next we will measure the height of the inflorescence. I am missing my 24-inch ruler, so I have improvised to using this meter so that we can measure the flower stalk. I'll measure it right there, and like I said, it's problematic because the flower stalk is always drooping down for Sansevieria hybrid Banahaw. But as I'm measuring here, the end of the measure would be at 1 feet. So the flower stalk would measure 12 inches or 1 foot, and then we'll use another tool to measure the flower tubes. We'll measure the topmost and the flower flower tubes located on the middle part or the uh, bottom part portion of Sansevieria Banahaw's inflorescence. So I'm measuring on the topmost portion is 9.1 millimeters. Then usually you would measure the long ones on the bottom part. So we'll go ahead and measure this one. Bottom part would be 25.3, and notice that I'm going to take out the camera on the stand so I can focus on what we are discussing. Alright, so there you go. These are called flower clusters. And by the way, this type of inflorescence is still classified as raceme type of inflorescence. That's how the Sansevieria hybrid Banahaw's flower looks like. So it's kind of to describe it, it's not really as white as we find in other hybrids, but it's kind of greenish a little bit, so greenish white for the color of the flower, and as well as the flower tube. The petals though would be still white, and on a cluster they are not averagely the same length, so there are small ones and there are larger flower tubes on a cluster of this type of hybrid. Sansevieria hybrid, I'm sorry. So there you go. So there are flower tubes that are short and there are flower tubes that are longer. So we'd measure the short ones to be at around 9.1 millimeters, and the longer ones would be at 25.4 millimeters. So those are the measurements that we can take from the Sansevieria hybrid Banahaw. And I guess I have already discussed in the previous episode. You can check as well on the previous episode. Just go to the channel and type Canlaon so you can find find out the difference between Canlaon and Sansevieria hybrid Banahaw. They're both hybrids of Glance Ang. He is a breeder from the Philippines, and he bred this Sansevieria and named it as Banahaw. So like I said, it's closely similar to Canlaon, so you have to check out the previous episode, and I have created a playlist for all. I have created a playlist dedicated for Glance Ang's hybrids, in case that I should encounter more inflorescence or flower bloom coming from the hybrid that he has bred or made. All right, so folks, if you have any questions, please don't forget to leave the comments below. And then if you like the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I hope you have a great day, and thank you and goodbye.